This is Blues View. Coming up, we preview the game against Fulham and should Dan and Johnson stake a claim for England. Hello and welcome to Blues View. Well, it was a great result for Birmingham City at the weekend. The next game for them is Fulham, and I'm joined by Colin Tatham in the studio. Hi, Colin.
Hello.
You mentioned Fulham there. How will they be preparing for the game, and do we expect Bowyer to be in that starting lineup again?
Interesting one first with Lee Bowyer. Obviously, Craig Gardner's injury has come as a blow to them, and Lee Bowyer's been sort of chomping at the bit. He's felt aggrieved that he's not played. And he responded with a decent performance, the winning goal against Chelsea. He knows the system. Alex McLeish will trust him, and I think he will get more playing time, obviously because of Gardner's absence, but also I think the manager will look to sort of assimilate and accommodate Alex Hleb in there as well, because if they need to get some goals, need to get some attacking punch. And with an eye on the Carling Cup quarter-final as well, you know, there could be a few changes. I wouldn't say definitely, but Lee Bowyer will be getting an extended run, and maybe Michel might get the odd appearance here and there, but at the moment he's more backup for Barry Ferguson, and that's a thankless task in itself.
Just how important would it be for Blues to get 3 points ahead of the Carling Cup game on December the 1st?
Well, it'd be absolutely massive, not just as a morale booster and going into that tie in such good heart, but they do need to get the 3 points, get a few ticked up on the board to climb up the Premier League table. It was only their second win in 12 matches against Chelsea. There have been too many draws. They haven't lost many, don't look like they're going to lose many, but it's getting those wins, and as we've discussed before, Birmingham aren't exactly, you know, the most progressive and expressive of teams that can open up the opposition. So they have to get, you know, every 3 points, every win is priceless for them. It really is.
And of course, defence will be a huge part of that. And Scott, Dan and Roger Johnson have been mentioned a bit the last few days over them possibly maybe deserving an England call-up, and for Capello to give them a bit more of a viewing. What do you think of that?
Yeah, I think why not? Because some of the players that have got in the squads, and there's been injuries as well, down at Wastills, they have been perplexed by it. They've not been shouting from the rooftops, there's not been moaning, but believe you me, I mean, Dan and Johnson are desperate to play for England, and they can't really come out and publicly wonder why, you know, what have they got to do, but that's how they feel. And I think if they carry on as they have done, then surely they have to be brought into the fold somewhere along the line. People might argue, well, have they got the international quality? Well, we'll need to find out, won't we? I mean, Johnson on the ball isn't spectacular, but what he's got in other aspects, he is like a sort of carbon copy John Terry. And whereas Dan is almost like a poor man's Ferdinand, and he can play the ball, he can bring it out. He's had a few errors in his game, there's a few sloppy moments of late, but the only way we'll find out is if they get a chance. Why not? Because, you know, they're good young players who have proven themselves for 18 months now in the Premier League. Maybe if they played for Spurs they might have got a sniff. I don't know, it might be the unfashionable Birmingham City, but I don't see any reason why they shouldn't be brought into the England fold, because certainly it would be something they would relish, and I'm sure they would rise to that challenge.
And do you think they should be played as a pair if they did get chosen by Capello, or do you think there's maybe some fear there that maybe if you split them up they're not quite as good because they've got that understanding from playing on that side each other?
Really interesting question. It would be interesting and difficult maybe for either of them if they played with a different partner, and you just remember the Pallister-Bruce scenario. Gary Pallister got in, Steve Bruce didn't, so it could be something along those lines. But you know, if needs must and they had to be paired together, it would be perfect, because as you say, they have the understanding, they know each other's game inside out. International football is obviously a lot different. The onus is different on England than it would be on Blues, say, in the Premier League, but you know, let's see, why not put them in for a friendly, and why can't they adapt? And also you're looking at Liam Ridgewell, who can play left back and centre half, and if you're looking at some of the strikers, Jay Bothroyd's got in. Cameron Jerome, why can't he come in as an impact player maybe? So it's about time people did talk up Birmingham City players, because if we don't and they don't, who will? Because they do seem to be overlooked by the national management.
Great, Colin. Well, thanks for that today. And thank you for watching. We'll be back again next week with more Blues View.